Good morning, interwebs. I'm either in shadow or in light. I can't tell. It's very sunny. The sun is way up there and it's very much in my face. It is a little after 11. I've been up since the 10 o'clock hour, but I did not excuse me. I did not vlog during that time because Steve was monopolizing the camera to take pictures of our daughter and him working on her rocketry project for the fair for 4-H. So the rocket is here after it has been shot off once. So that was fun. The only not fun thing is it went up into the sky. We were all watching, and then the sun was very much like, retinas. And then the rocket came down and it went over there just into the edge of that field, and she retrieved it. And so now she is scampering up to the house to get more engines. I think we have 2 of them so that she can shoot it again. So fun things. I was never a rockety person. Did you shoot rockets when you were a kid, Steve?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Steve has done this.
Remember I told you about my
That's right, yes. So this is like a thing that he had done. I did, however, shoot bottle rockets when I was in 7th grade, 8th grade, I don't know, middle school. Had the same science teacher both years, so it all becomes a blur. But that was the only time I shot them, and we filled them with different substances instead of just water to, like, as an experiment. And the thing I chose was strawberry jam. That was fun and sticky.
Close the door!
Oh, it is 12:37, and I am actually just about to leave the house. We got done with the rockets. That was fun. We shot it off 3 times. Then I went inside and I soaked my foot because, so my left foot had had a bite on the bottom. My right foot had had bites across my toes, and they'd been bothering me the other day. Then they kind of got okay. And then yesterday night, something went after my left toes. I have like a number of, I can't even tell where the bites are, but there's like bites that are all swollen all over them. And then one of them, actually, I had to like lance because it had swollen so bad and my toe was hurting. And anyways, so I soaked them in water with Epsom salt today. They felt a little bit better, but it still is very, very uncomfortable to walk on them. I was gonna carry boxes up and down the stairs this morning, and I started, and it was like, ugh, it hurt too bad on the carpet. So, anyways, soaked my foot, played some Wii while I did that by myself, because I was gonna watch a show, and I was like, I'm gonna sit here too long if I watch a show. So I played some Wii, then I made myself some lunch, 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I have a little baggie with some chips in it. And then I had brought this water bottle with some like cherry cola in it, and I had been carrying it in my purse, that way the kids wouldn't ask me about it. And I sat my purse down and the lid busted open, and it like sprayed, because apparently that little bit of jostling of me setting my purse down was too much shaking, and yeah, that's what I get for trying to have something tasty as a treat. So anyways, I am now headed to Manhattan to go and have acupuncture and go to Joann's and maybe run a few other errands, and then I will be home. So it is like 1:15 and I'm driving. So again, I'm not gonna look at you. But I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about money and why it looks fake in movies, and they were talking about how, like, you know, reasons like counterfeiting reasons, which all made sense. But then they made some comment about maybe you were just watching old movies and you didn't recognize the money because money looks different now. And that reminded me of a story. See, this is already long story longer, but it's gonna get longer. So, in 2006, I was walking at my college graduation, and so was Steve, and we had just moved into a house that we were renting, and we were getting married, like, later, like a month later. So, because yes, we moved, or we had finals, moved, and graduated, and got married all within like 6 weeks. Yeah, because that was a smart thing to do. That was good for my stress. But anyways, totally different story. So we were having this graduation get together at our house, and like our families were coming and stuff. So, you know, trying to be good hosts and whatever. I was, you know, paying for things, and I had been squirreling away money since my childhood in, like, I don't know, a little ball of cash, stuff that, you know, I'd gotten his presents and just money you acquire. And they had changed the money in, I don't know what year, but like, I think it was when I was in high school or maybe when I started college. So anyways, in the last like 10 years of that time, the way that the 20s looked had changed. Like the numbers got bigger. Like, I mean, they've changed again since then, but the money now all kind of looks the same the last few iterations. But it looked like the old money, like the money from the 80s and 90s. Well, I went to Dollar Tree in Chico, where we were living, to try and buy some paper goods, like paper plates and stuff, for our party. And I was like, okay, I didn't want to put any more money on my credit card because I tried to pay that off every month and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. So I'd gone into my secret stash of cash and I'd peeled off some 20s from whenever I put them in there. And I went to buy my plates at Dollar Tree and the checker would not take my money because he told me it was not money. And I said, these are $20 bills. And he said, they are not. They do not look like $20 bills. And then there were 3 people in line around me, and they all said, that's real money, you should take it. And the guy would not take my money, and I had to put it on my credit card. And I was really, really mad. Especially because there were people there who were like vouching for me that these were real. So, anyways, needless to say, after that, I went out of my way to spend all of those old 20s that I had because I just didn't want to get into that anymore. Clearly, it had been so long since the money had changed that the people, I guess, who were idiots, did not recognize it anymore. So, that's my story about money. It is 3:30. I missed the 2 o'clock hour because I was in acupuncture and then I was driving back to Joanne's. I had a good acupuncture day. It was different. I had different sensations than I've had before. I think I called Steve to tell him about them. Hoping that they're different good, or at least different like neutral, not different bad, but they felt different. Like my body felt different and time passed really funky. Like I was there for like a half an hour of an appointment and it did not feel at all half an hour long, but the clock says it was half an hour, so I'm gonna trust how much time passed, but it felt like way faster than that, but like not in a bad way. I don't know, weird. So I just left Joanne's and look, I got a pile of cute fabric and I got more of the dogs in the trucks. So there'll be more of those bags coming shortly. Maybe for this update, there should at least be a medium bag in this week's update, but we'll see how much I get done in the next couple of days if there's more up in the shop this weekend. Okay, home we go. 4:50 and I'm home. I've been home for a little bit and I'm going to finish. I edited most of the vlog last night, which I haven't been doing lately, but I did today. And I just need to add one more clip that was stuck on the memory card still. And then the vlog will go up and then I'm gonna go and clean my sewing room a bit so that way I can get the sewing done when the fabric comes out of the washing machine. So it is 7:18. In the last hour, I worked on making I was washing fabric, running that through, because all my fabric, I like to wash it on hot water and run it through a hot dryer, and then I hot iron it, because if it's gonna shrink, I want it to shrink before I sew it. Because that's how I do all my fabric, even my quilting fabric, and I simply will quilt with fabric they have not washed. That scares the bejesus out of me, because I know how much fabric shrinks. So, I do all the things I can to make sure it is pre-shrunk for you and me. Then, I made a curtain for the, I guess from craft room? I don't know, the room over here. I told you I was going to make a curtain, but I had made the edging. Well, I sewed this, you know, hemming and stuff, and then I even sewed the edging on, which is kind of fun. It's the first time I did it. See, lots of cat room, just enough. So, then I've been making dinner. My daughter helped me. She made the smoothies tonight. No mulberries, but we're having peach and cucumber and beet smoothies, which are happening there. And then I'm making some French toast here. And Steve had brought in some potatoes. It's the second time we'll have had potatoes from the garden. There's 2 more over here. But the potatoes, I guess, came out. The first batch came out when he was weeding tomatoes. that we had the other night. We had smashed potatoes. And then these are from when he was weeding the carrots. There were some potatoes that were too close, so he pulled them. And so now we get to enjoy them. Okay, I'm going to go finish dinner. So, I think it's about 10. I did baths and stuff for the kids. I ironed that whole stack of fabric so that I can get stuff going when I finally get all 3 of them sleeping. Because one of them is still awake with me. And yeah, I got the vlog up finally. I just kept, you know, it was one of those slow nights to get it up. And I read them some of our story. Something about Scratchy Mountain, Tale from Scratchy Mountain. I don't know. I forget what it's called, but it's really funny. I just forget what it's called. And now I think I'm going to go make myself like some tea or something. The hotness doesn't sound that good, but I need a little like pep in my step. I'm very tired all of a sudden. I think it might be from that yummy, yummy dinner. That smoothie and the French toast and the potatoes were so good. I gotta make some more potatoes here. We ate all the ones I made because that's all I could fit in the pan. It was like a good amount for 4 of us. So I'm gonna make the rest of the potatoes up and then send half to work with Steve and then have the other half for like my nightly snacky meal thing that I need to make sure I eat. So I guess I could go put Steve's dinner together. We'll see if that happens, but I'm gonna go make some tea. It is 12:08 and I just finished putting some new podcasts onto my phone. That way I can listen to them in the other room while I'm sewing. I have just a little bit more fabric to iron and then I'm gonna do some sewing here. But I was just looking at, I think I mentioned that they are doing this thing this year called PodCon and that I like supported they did Indiegogo instead of like Kickstarter, one of those kind of things, a crowdfunding thing. So I signed up to remotely attend PodCon. So basically I will end up getting like all of the audio tracks of that and a bunch of the podcasts that I do like will be there, and I was hoping to discover others too. So I was looking who their feature guests were and looking through them, and what is the obsession right now with crime podcasts? I don't get it. I just don't desire to hear about murders, old or new, like in great detail. That just not my thing. So I guess the same reason I don't really like reading mystery books. I don't like reading like war novels and crime like it's not my thing. So I was looking for new things to listen to, and what I kind of like is things that are more pop culture-y. I would like to avoid political because I already have some political like media that I enjoy. And then I was looking through some favorites that I've heard from other podcasts that I like. And I'm talking like audio podcasts, not like video podcasts, and not crafty related. I'm looking for like other things outside of my Yarniverse. So I I downloaded My Brother and Me. I downloaded an episode or 2 of that so that I can listen to it because they are supposed to be some brothers who do a funny, advicey comedy podcast. And I've seen those guys and other things and thought they were funny. So I'm going to check that out. And I downloaded some Gilmore Guys, which I've always wanted to listen through, and I don't know why I haven't, and now might be that time. And 99% Invisible, which I'm very interested in. It's supposed to be about, like, weird things that you think about, but don't ever ask the questions. First asks the questions and does, like, NPR long-form style reporting on them. So that, I think, is everything that I looked at today. And I will let you know what I think of those. I have a feeling that they'll be okay. I'm hoping that they'll be really, really good, but we'll see. So, oh yeah, and I still have a kid up. Yeah. So, going to go and listen to this, do my ironing, do a bit of cutting, and then hopefully get sewing. So, it is 2:20, and I got some sewing done. That was good. Got some packages ready to go out tomorrow. That Steve confirming that he will make sure they make it to the mailbox. And now I'm going to sit here and play with my shawl for a little bit and watch a little YouTube before I go to bed. But I'm going to say goodnight to you now. That way I can't forget to do it later. So I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty-night.